Man, look who I have today. I have one of Trumbull's most honest, humble, and coolest people in the world, and someone who I've literally known my whole life. And look at us here, and we get to do we used to hang out when there was the days of VHSs, and now we're here on zooming it out. And but in all seriousness, I have the incredible Abby Pieger with me this evening on the Productive Conversations podcast. Abby, I'm excited. I can't wait to have the listeners see how cool you are. And welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thanks, Matt. I'm doing great. Thank you. And obviously I am so cool, and that's why I've been invited.
You know it. You know it. I mean, we've gone from Disney World together. We've seen Jimmy Fallon. We've seen gone over the place, and it's cool that we could do this here. So I'm really happy to have you on.
Yeah. I mean, you could have gone with my sister, so obviously I am the superior choice.
Tell me first things first, how is Nina doing? I know she's engaged, so that's extremely exciting. How about that?
Yeah, it's super great being the youngest sister right now. My oldest sister just had a kid in March, and Nina is engaged, and I am single in the time of Corona.
Tell me about that. Same here. Oh man, I think we could once we go down the line, we can try to help each other out, trying to figure out this dating world, of course. But besides that, man, so you're an aunt now and you have all this. So tell me first, what's crazier to you, being an aunt right now or seeing your sister get married? What are you trying to, what's been the way you've been compromising this?
Yeah. I mean, I think
Or both.
Being an aunt is definitely, it's weird in the fact that I've only met my niece once because she lives in Virginia. But it's been really cool, and I just love her with my whole heart. I would say it's definitely weird for Nina to be engaged, and they are in the process of buying a house, which is so great for them, but it's just very weird because I feel like we're still babies.
Oh man, we can't, I was telling my dad before, hey, I'm talking with Abby, and I was saying yeah, Nina's engaged and everything. He's like, what's going on? And my dad I don't think he knows how to log into his Facebook. So I'm telling him I mean, it's old news, but and my mom's the opposite of it. So I told her she might come by to say hi, but she's out with her friends right now being crazy self. So
That's okay. If she pops in, it's been a long time since I've seen your mom, so
yeah.
I'll always be happy to say hi.
And then how's your family doing? How's your mom doing and everyone else doing nice and safe? And
yeah, everyone's doing all right. Mom very much is very much taking COVID seriously, which is good. So she hasn't been doing all that much for the past few months, but she's doing all right. Dad's doing pretty well too, and it's funny because, oh my God, I can't even think of the last time that you all saw my dad. He frequently will be like, I wonder how the Browns are doing.
Oh, trust me, we're the same exact way here. And we could start the process right now by having this podcast first and see where it goes from there, right?
Of course. I mean, your mom got the ball rolling the other day with that Disney throwback photo, huh?
Wasn't that perfect timing right before this? She just finds it. Yeah, so we went to Disney World back in 2002, even before Tommy was born. And
God,
I mean, do I want to say the years? I don't want to make people feel old, but we're pushing a couple of decades with that one. And man,
God, I know I didn't even wear glasses back then. That's how I measure time, is when did I get glasses? What pair of glasses was I wearing in a photo? Was it pre or post contact? And I was not wearing glasses quite yet, so that's how we know I was very young.
I know. I know eventually it's gonna happen to me because everyone in my family wears glasses, but I haven't need them yet. But yeah, they're still rocking there, and sometimes I wish that haircut comes in everywhere, which way. And I mean, how much Disney World must have changed since we went to, right? So
Have you not been since?
no, I've been 2 other times since then. Last time I was there was 2013. I know one thing. We could go with let's geek out on some Disney World things right now. Tell me, Abby,
Here for it.
what Okay, so we have the broaden. Can you tell me your favorite ride at Disney? Or maybe one of them. You know, it doesn't be the favorite. You can name a few, of course. And what's like a
Okay.
what's like a ride? I won't say it's the worst ride, but what do you think is a ride that's overrated, if that makes sense?
I mean, I have a worse. Okay, okay.
Okay, you can say
Top.
worst too, because we're always about
So
Disney,
my
the place of happiness. So,
yeah, I would say two of my favorite rides: Pirates of the Caribbean and the
Mhm.
Haunted Mansion. Obviously, my phone case, Haunted Mansion.
Hey,
Um, worst ride. The worst ride in all of Disney is Mission Space.
Mission.
It
That's a
is
hot
so
take.
bad. I don't think so. I think that so I get motion sick,
Okay.
and the anti-gravity is like just not for me. But I think I have heard from people who don't get motion sick that Mission Space is too much for them. It is just it should not exist. It's horrible.
You know, I would say my favorite ride is Rock and Roller Coaster, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I words can't describe how excited I am from there every time I go on. And I probably my least favorite ride, or I'll go far as the worst. You know, this is a hot take. You know, it's a
Okay.
small world. I don't really feel it like others. I mean, I'm sure I know nostalgia's sake and people like it, but you know, I'm just it's just you just see things are like, okay, you know, moving on and stuff. But I also like you don't feel it either.
Yeah, I could give or take.
And I just don't like the, you know, catchy tunes and getting things stuck in my head like that. I mean, I can't. I don't want to. If I recite the words, it's stuck in my head for the next few weeks. Um,
Probably true.
but I also, you know, it's ironic because even though it's not there anymore, is the great movie ride I love,
Um,
and yeah, I know they took it away unfortunately, but like you know, all my any movie stuff geek out over it. So and
yeah, I'm
you.
not surprised that that was your favorite. Not surprised at all.
But R.I.P. for it for sure. You know but I also love the Tower of Terror every single time. I mean
I've never done it.
no, never done it.
No, I'm a big fraidy cat.
Do you think there could be a day in the near future like I'm gonna face my fears, I'm hopping on it?
I went through a really brave patch. I was probably like 12, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I was waiting for my Uncle Ron. And I was like, I'm gonna do it with Uncle Ron because no one else would do it with me. And then when
Yeah.
Uncle Ron finally got to me, I said, I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh,
And I have not yet since wanted to do it again.
well, you have my support when you're ready to take the leap of faith. Maybe at this age, but
Yeah, maybe not. But thanks for the support.
you want to know like I like to be a jokester over there. There was this so yeah, last time I went was my senior year of high school for this trip. And I have one story I can't wait to share first. But when we were at Haunted Tower of Terror, right? I uh I was just a senior in high school trying to be funny and cool, be like to the workers, oh my god, is there a real ghost over here? And person wasn't having it at all. And I
Right.
remember one time, so we were going on, and it's like, if I remember correctly, you're they move you around, and then it's the big drop, and then so right after, again, I was trying to be funny. This is so stupid. Remember, this was a different time, so I had this I had a little bag with me, like a little like this little towel,
Okay.
and I purposely slipped it out on the ride so I could get a nice picture there. And they
No.
people didn't find that funny. I don't find it funny now. Could have definitely hurt somebody with that. But it was a cool pic at the time. But it's an X out that I'll never be able to see.
Yeah, you tried. You probably missed the mark.
Yes, and luckily I didn't make it to Disney jail. I met two people in my life who have officially been in Disney jail, and they said it is not a pretty place.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure. I feel like you have to do something really, really bad to get to Disney Jam.
You know, it's funny. The one of the kids, I forgot what he did, but the other one, he just was trespassing, trying to go on the rides, being funny, and now they caught him, and he has a memory and doesn't have it on his permanent record. Show up on a
Wow.
background check. Or go visit jail.
I guess of all things to show up on a background check, could be worse. Could be way worse.
Right? You want to know my other? This is cool thing that happened on that trip, also in Hollywood studios. So again, nerding out on the movies. I want to see the Indiana Jones stunt show,
Of course.
of course, right? So I beg my friends all day. Let's go. I want to go to the show. We have to see the show. And like literally, this is the whole trip. The bus ride down. Like when
You
we're
took a bus down to Disney
Yep, went
from Norwalk?
from Norwalk to Orlando. A full trip. A full. Well, it must have been 40 hours. We
Oh
only
my.
slept the night bus once. One night we slept on the bus there and back, but yeah, it was cool at first. I was excited. I had the back of the bus. Let's do this. Go cross country. Well, not cross country, but I guess down trip.
On the
Down
East
trip.
Coast.
Yeah, and then by hour two, I had it. Oh, I'm like, oh my god, watching so much movie. I remember we watched a full season of Full House. That's what they gave us on.
Was it a good season of Full House at least?
It was like the third season, so I think they had Aunt Becky at the time, and things were starting to establish. But I like the later Full House seasons. I don't know. How do you feel about them? Like the later, like the 6, 7, 8. That's my way.
Oh, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen early seasons of Full House, and I
Yeah.
remember being like really shocked by because I was not born when the
Mhm.
first two seasons of Full House
Yeah.
came out. But like, remember being really shocked, like that was how the plot began.
Yeah. It
uh,
is pretty so quite the circumstances.
yeah. Um, oh, my cat just joined. Say hello.
Hey, what's your cat's name? Oh,
This
she's
is Holly.
Molly.
Holly.
Holly. Oh, she's
Yeah.
adorable. Maybe
A
my
little
cat
Glen
lit.
Beach. She's named after Holly, as in Holly Golightly from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
How about that? Hey, see, I love movie references all the time. Maybe my cat Larry can come by. I can introduce you guys if he
Yeah.
shows up. But yeah, we just watched Full House and we watched yeah, that's one I remember. But I remember it was so relieving. We went in like February when it was freezing, and never. I can feel that warm Florida air to this day. Kind of
Oh, yeah.
feels like what we've been having lately. But back to the story.
The Indiana Jones story.
Yes, just all day. Indiana Jones. Got to see Indiana Jones. Let's do this. Let's do this. So we don't go to like one of the last shows. It's like four in the afternoon, right? So we finally go. I'm so excited and everything. And in Indiana Stunt Show, they allow audience members.
Right.
So of course they're asking, and of course my friends are being obnoxious, like, he wants to go, he wants to go, he wants to go. And they say, hey, you, come on down. I'm like, what? So I signed the waiver, and I was right there. I was right in the middle of the action. It was like a full crowd too, and I just, right this cheering Indiana on, like running away from the big boulder and stuff. And then I knew I had the perfect joke once it was over. I said, hey guys, I just wanted to watch the show, not be in the show.
Was the year that we all went together the year that my mom also got into the Indiana Jones show?
That does sound familiar.
I don't remember exactly when it was, but my mom is deaf now, but hard of hearing. Like, this was well before her cochlear implants. And my mother just was so clueless up there. Had no idea. And I genuinely thought, I mean, as a small child, I was like, my mother is about to be lit on fire.
No.
Because there's fire in the scene,
Yeah.
I was like, this is the day I lose my mom in Disney World.
Boy, what a sense of irony in that one. Oh, man. But yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been a very long time since I've been. And when was the last time you went there? You were there.
11 months ago.
Right before this all happened, huh?
Yeah, I rang in the new year in Magic Kingdom.
How about that?
Was a choice.
What is Magic Kingdom like on New Year's Eve?
Horrible. Yeah, oh my gosh, I have blocked out the actual number of people that were in the park, but it was far over capacity. It took us probably a full hour just to get out of the park.
Damn.
Yeah, and like we left right after the fireworks. It was absolutely horrible.
And
it was like beautiful and wonderful, but if you don't like crowds, totally not the thing for you.
I wonder if like what's worse, that or Times Square?
I'm gonna go with Times Square, only because like Magic Kingdom actually has a capacity.
Yeah, right.
I don't know though.
Oh man. So you bring in the new year. That's how you start your 2020, and then I don't want to sound rude when I say it seems like the world all went downhill from there. But hopefully things now with the new news, we're getting a new president and things changing. Hopefully some saving grace or some silver lining.
Yeah. 2020 started off strong, and I was like, "This is my year." 24. It was not. The world shut down literally 2 days after the birthday.
Oh man.
Yeah, which was fine. But I heard this great theory that I think you would really enjoy.
Of course. What's up?
It has to do with SNL.
Okay.
So the theory is that Lorne Michaels had this whole cultural reset that had to do with COVID, right?
Okay.
So picture March. And John Mulaney hosts SNL in March. There's a Friday the 13th. There's a full moon, and coronavirus like just shuts everything down. November, we got a full moon. We got a Friday the 13th. John Mulaney hosted SNL. Oh, and I forgot. Daylight savings was in March and in November. And we just had a presidential election, which like I don't know if that really fits into the theory, but if we are going with the fact that Lorne Michaels is a wizard, then we might have him to thank for our new president-elect.
You want to know, here on the wall right there, the big guy. I don't know if you could see.
I can see up to here, so I can't see his head.
Yeah, well, you can trust me there. And see, I guess they say Lorne is one of the most powerful men in entertainment, and well, I guess he's proven it with this.
Yeah.
Works for me.
World.
Can you tell me, Abby, who's your favorite SNL person or one of your favorites?
Like current cast members or host?
We'll say cast members all time.
Cast members all time.
And it could be a few, of course.
Obviously, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, of course.
They're over on the other side. I put they're up there. I don't know if you could see. They're on top of Andy Cohen next to the Yankees.
Yep. Yeah, obviously. I mean, you don't even need to explain why they're amazing. And of course, like Mike Myers, SNL is also classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say current SNL. Kate McKinnon is just. I just crack up every time she comes on screen.
There. She's a part of the collage I have right there.
I love it. What about you? Who are your favorite people?
So for me, I would say now we're going on the whole sphere. Bill Hader. Love Bill Hader. I think he's incredible. Kristen Wiig, can't do no wrong.
Of course.
You already said Tina and Amy, so that was good. I really love Chris Farley a lot. Chris Farley and Sandler.
True.
And I really like Eddie Murphy a lot too. So when he came back, it was dope. And I love the Lonely Island crew. I know Andy Samberg and then the other two are writers, but all those digital shorts, and I can really, we could always geek out on that. So I'd have to say those are my men and women that make strides, and I'm excited. And from this current cast, I really like. Excuse me. You already said Queso's good, and I really like Beck Bennett. I think Beck Bennett's a really good actor in there. Kyle Mooney's good. Pete Davidson. I really like Chloe Finnerman. I think she's gonna have a great future.
Agreed. I mean, her Drew Barrymore literally got her recognized by Drew Barrymore.
perfect, hands on. She's like, I mean, the way she just gets her voices, and I didn't know she had like a pretty good following in on Instagram until she got this. So I'm excited to see where she goes. I think she's gonna be like the special, not underrated, but like the secret star that just pop off.
I could see it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a, you know, you and I went to see the Tonight Show a few years back with
We did.
my friend Jordan Simpson, and did I ever tell you after that I interviewed for the show?
I don't think you did.
Really? I
I don't think.
interviewed for an internship, the internship, like 2 weeks after that happened,
Okay.
and one thing, I gave it my all, and it didn't pan through, but I still appreciate the opportunity. I don't really watch the Tonight Show as much as anymore because of that, but that was the last big hoorah from it, and just got
Right.
into other shows. But I got another internship instead. But during that special day? Do you remember? You and I, we saw we saw a monologue rehearsal,
Oh yeah.
and then I remember you said like, "Hey, I want to go to the show." And that just stuck in my head like if it was like a year or two before, and I just remember you saying when I was thinking of guests, like, I don't know, I just asked Abby, and then you came by. But how was that day for you? Did you have a lot of fun with it and stuff like that?
I did. Yeah. No, I mean, and I mean, I've never done anything like cool in the showbiz except with you and your family because we also saw, oh my goodness, back when it was live with Kelly and Michael.
Yep.
We saw that. Yeah, I mean, because your mom was like, yeah, let's bring them. Why not?
She always has the hookup. She has the hookup. That was her thing back in the day, to go to the shows.
Oh yeah, which is the day that we saw Jimmy Fallon's monologue.
Yeah,
It just happened.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it worked out.
Yes. But yeah, no, seeing the Tonight Show was so cool. And even though I would not say that I'm like the biggest Zac Efron fan, I
Hmm.
am a human straight woman,
If you
so
could
I of
appreciate the
course
opportunity.
I can appreciate Zac Efron. But I think that was the day where I was like, oh, I like Zac Efron. This is cool. Like he seems like a cool celeb.
Yeah, that's not a lot of people could say I actually saw the celebrity and then I started liking him. So that's a cool distinction. And you remember when Jordan screamed, "Take your shirt off," and he reacted right away?
Of course. Oh my gosh. What did he say?
He said, it was Jimmy said, "No, I won't take my shirt off." And then Zach said, usually when people ask me that, I said, "Not if you take your shirt off first."
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was great with the game of war with
Yeah,
water. Water war? Is that what they
water
called it?
war. Yeah, exactly. And if you
Oh.
lost, they just blessed all the people who would be interested in seeing. They actually got him in almost a wet t-shirt contest, so everybody's winning.
That's true. Yeah, that was cool. I remember we were so disappointed because they stuck us in the way back.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like a personal attack on all of our faces,
Yeah, come on, what's wrong with us?
right? But we were the best audience members.
Easily. I remember Jordan actually hugged him. Do you remember that? He got in his way, hugged me.
Oh my god, I do not remember that. I probably was like just mortified of like, oh my god, are we about to get kicked out?
Yeah, luckily he did it towards the end of the show, so we didn't. Yeah, those are who those people are.
It's okay. We were the life of the party, which is truly what matters. Even if we were so far in the back that you couldn't see any of us.
Nothing but. Now, going off that, is there any celebrities, and we'll say dead or alive, because I know you have appreciation of the classic stars of this world. If you could say a few people, we'll say three, that you would love to spend the day with or have some dinner, dead or alive, who would those people be?
Have dinner with, dead or alive. So obviously Audrey Hepburn.
Mm-hmm,
I don't know why I said
course.
obviously, as the world knows that. But I mean, I feel like she should be on everybody's list because not only was she an amazing actress, but she also was a humanitarian.
Yep. They won.
So definitely her. Oh, this is hard. This is hard. I feel like I should have thought about this at some point in my life because this is like such a typical question. Max Greenfield from New Girl.
Max Greenfield, yes.
Yes.
I've seen one episode of New Girl, but that's it. But I know who you're talking about though.
Okay.
I think I think they announced him, I want to say for the Grinch live adaptation. Could be wrong, but
Oh, I didn't know they were doing another Grinch.
yeah, you know how they do the musicals, the live adaptation, like they done Rent, The Wiz, Grease.
Right.
I want to say that he got named the Grinch. If you don't mind me looking that up really quick.
I say go for it.
And
my first year of grad school, he spoke at Northeastern, and I was like, I love you so much.
No way.
And any work that you do from here on out, I support. So I will watch The Grinch now.
And excuse me.
No.
I had the page up and then I am this is taking way longer than I thought. Nope. Okay, I mixed him up with someone else. But hey, maybe the next Grinch will do that. I didn't even know he did musicals and stuff, but
yeah, I don't know.
How about that? Okay, so Max Greenfield, Audrey Hepburn. Who's that last person?
Third person. I feel like I should say somebody like really profound, but I don't know that I have any profound people.
Want to meet Aristotle?
I just like, oh, no, thank you. I think I'm gonna have to say Amy Poehler again, because I think in
That's
like all aspects, I think she's just so cool. I was a huge Parks and Rec fan, and was always like, "Oh, I'm such a Leslie Knope." I don't think I'm actually a Leslie Knope. I think I just really loved Amy Poehler.
Yeah, you're an Abby Pieger.
Yes, I am not somebody who has binders for everything.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. So my podcast, my podcast I shot last week with my two friends, and we were just talking about random things, and I found this clip of the good old of Adam Scott, aka Ben. I'm sorry, I can't think of his last name. Ben from Parks and Rec, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
I found this clip of him in Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you ever see that clip when he's like, but he's way younger, but yet he looks the exact same. It's him and Paul Rudd who have that gene.
I know. They both, like, when they were younger, they just look like a smoother version of themselves.
Literally, right?
Oh yeah. Adam Scott plays a mean kid in Boy Meets World.
Yeah, you want to pound me? Yeah. He said something like that. Well, look at how far he evolved. So, if I had to pick three people to hang with, I want to be Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
I love Conan. He can't do no wrong with me. I'd like to hang out with LeBron. I think that would just be the homie. And then for my third, I also want to do a profound one. And that Jenny would like to meet. I would go with. I'm gonna go with Joe Rogan podcast and get some advice with that.
Okay.
Those are my big three.
I thought you were gonna go like really profound out there.
I was gonna pick Princess Diana, which would have been cool. She made an impact. Or what if I met I said Aristotle or Gandhi. Yeah, how do you stay chill in your? I could use the ways of distress right now, right?
Gandhi in 2020 would be certainly somebody to pay attention to.
That Mother Teresa. Why don't we hang out with her?
Yeah, none of these people came to mind for me.
Oh man. So Abby,
Yes.
one thing we brushed on a little bit that I think we both can help each other out with, right? So, we're single kids in our mid-20s, reckon where there's, trying to be safe, of course, trying to make
Right.
sure. So, if you mind me asking, so I love your hinge tweets. You have the such awesome commentary to it, I feel, but you know, I'm as single as can be. No one talking on any of the apps at this moment. So tell me first things first, as a cool, pretty girl like yourself, Abby, what do you think is the proper way for a gentleman to act on Hinge to get, depending on, I know everybody looks at the app differently. They have different intentions and whatever. What do you think is the proper etiquette for a man these days, the best approach to the apps, for whether it's some advice I can take or any of my male listeners or anyone else who should be better aware of what's going on? Because I know a lot of guys don't do the right thing. So why don't we start the change for that? What would you say?
Is true.
Mhm.
Most men don't know how to act.
Mhm.
I mean, so I guess so my advice is obviously, again, coming from a straight woman who is interacting with, hypothetically straight men. So this does not apply to, this probably does not apply to gay men, and probably also does not apply to gay women. Folks in between, perhaps, maybe.
Right.
But I would say, actually, maybe this is like just straight up human stuff. This might just be straight
Yeah.
up.
Let's go.
So,
I'm down to say that straight up human. This is a lesson for everybody.
yeah, as I'm starting to formulate like the things that I think are really important, I think it really doesn't matter, because if you're just like a person who just like wants some genuine human interaction, then this is good advice for you. I think it's really, really off-putting when men try to gatekeep the things that you are interested in. So recently, one of the Hinge prompts that I have in my profile is like things I geek out on, and it's like Disney, Harry Potter, and Star Wars. And somebody was like, name your favorite Disney movie, Star Wars movie, and Harry Potter movie, and there is a right answer. And I was like, oh, if you just like left it at name your favorites, like that would have been a really good opening. That would have been a great way to like play at my interests and see if we have common interests. But then for you to be like, there is a right answer. Oh, excuse you. There may be a right answer, but that is not how you start a conversation. That's how you shut the conversation down before it even starts. So I would definitely say, like, for openers, like, find something that could start a conversation, not just like, hi. Or, I mean, some people enjoy like oh, you've got a nice smile, I like your eyes, things like that. But particularly with a profile where you can add things about your personality, it's like far better to actually start a conversation from the get-go.
Of course.
So that is definitely a part of it. I don't know. And I would just say, like, it's just the guys who like actually want to have a great conversation, I'm more likely to match with if they're the ones who are trying to start the conversation. Yeah. So that
solid.
actually has nothing to do with sexuality by any means. Be any part of the spectrum of sexuality, and that should apply to you. Just like play to people's interests.
Yeah, play to people's interests. Get that try to get that connection. I'm really someone who genuinely believes that things are meant to be and it happen. One thing I've learned, I think that's good with dating apps or dating in general, is really have some patience. I feel like a lot of guys, especially, you want to cut to the chase. A lot of people maybe just want to skip a lot of steps and maybe want to hook up right away instead of trying to find someone who has your back. And I think that's one thing that was cool that I've learned out of it. It's being the patience, not jumping straight to the bedroom and stuff like that, because one, it's awkward, doesn't create a great connection. And it's just, when you're at that point, it seems like you're just there's nothing there, and and especially, you know, we all have to be careful. You don't know what's out there, especially now COVID with that risk. I think whether you agree or not, I think patience is a great thing guys can learn. And one thing I've learned from, you know, my female friends, that they just hate dudes who will just cut to the chase. And it seems from the people I've heard who failed it clearly doesn't work jumping around like that, no matter what app, unless, you know, you're going out to the red light district. That's probably the only time it works. And then you're also paying for it. So who's really winning or losing at that point, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on the person and what they're looking for.
Mhm.
Obviously, like if you are somebody who's looking for a relationship and somebody does just like want to cut to the chase, like maybe it's just a difference in priorities,
Yep.
lifestyle. It really like that works for some people. But I think it's important to read the room and like, does somebody's profile like give you that that inkling that they are looking for a relationship, or does it give you the inkling that maybe there is like some ambiguity there? Because I mean, I think I agree. Like if you are looking for a relationship and somebody's just like, hey, add me on Snap, like probably not the best way to like initiate a conversation and actually have anything more meaningful than a one sentence back and forth via a picture. But for some people that is what they're looking for. They're just kind of looking for something a little bit more superficial, a little bit more physical. And if that works for them, then to each their own, as long as they're not hurting anybody in the way.
Be safe. And as long as people agree, you know, you do you, right? At that point. Do you think pictures make a difference do you think you'd like to see more effort or guys who, like, you know, really want to, or speaking in the general sphere, do you think pictures really do make a difference?
I think so. I mean, I think it is absolutely possible to make a genuine connection with somebody regardless of looks. But like when you're looking at a dating profile, I think you have that option, that like quick brain second to say, am I going to swipe left or am I going to swipe right? And I know like if a guy has like all mirror selfies, I'm like, ew. Guy has him selfies, I'm like, you're obsessed with yourself.
Yeah.
If a guy has no photos with friends, I'm like, do you have friends? But if he has photos with only friends, I'm like, oh, you're one of those where like Saturdays are for the boys, and I don't deal with that toxic masculinity. So I think it does matter, because like the point of dating apps is that it's meant to be a little bit superficial, which is hard, but it's just kind of modern dating as it is.
Yep. Absolutely. You know, it's funny how we're going to find so many people in our generations when they get married and they say, I met on an app. I think we'll see that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Doesn't it matter the first time you see each other in person and have that? So at least that's how I look at it and stuff. Or I don't know. I haven't heard wedding vows say, I remember when you swiped right on me. You said whatever.
I mean, have you been to the weddings yet of the people who have met on dating apps, though?
Not yet, too. But I'm excited for that day to see anything is possible. One of the funniest jokes I've ever saw, memes I ever saw, is like, hey, it was this couple. He said, hey, here's where we first met, and it's the Tinder headquarters, wherever they're at. I was like, that's adorable.
Oh yeah, I mean it's hard to meet. I mean, obviously in COVID times, it's extraordinarily hard to meet people, but even in general, it's you know, once you leave college, like, and granted that's like a smaller dating pool than the whole wide world, but it's hard to meet people, and like nowadays in the age of technology, that's just like how it's done. It's really hard to just meet people serendipitously.
Definitely. Can I say one quick? How do we feel about pickup lines? Does a go or no go? And I know definitely from the ranges of pickup lines too. Some people are real gross with it, and some people, you know, just trying to get a nice spark, you know, whether the pun or not. But how we feel about pickup lines?
I think there is this isn't like this is no black and white world when it comes to pickup lines.
Yeah.
I would say more times than not, I'm like, oh, like no originality, like, or
get from Google Tinder pickup lines.
Right. Like even on like Hinge prompts, like you can tell when like dudes just like copy and paste from each other's profiles.
Yeah.
Like, a social cause that I care about. And in Massachusetts, there is no happy hour. And so they're like,
Oh, is it
bringing
really?
happy hour back to Massachusetts. And I'm like, oh, super creative there. Yeah. I would say like if a pickup line is like really good or like just makes me giggle, then that's one thing. But like there's no like equation to whether or not that would happen.
Yeah. Basically my approach from it, me personally, and I just figured, there was times to try different things. I used to say pickup lines, not gonna lie. I would say one I did was hello, is it me you're swiping for? And I put a gif of Lionel Richie. Some people got thumbs up or what.
I mean, I think that is better than like, are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only Ten I see. Like, okay, pack it up, Hannah Montana.
Right? Yeah. But the way I look at it, and just especially now, like I've been fortunate enough, I had some like pretty solid relationships from dating apps, and that taught me it really is possible. Whatever that connection are meant to be is meant to be. So I figure at least like I like to take that approach to comment some of their profile, and if they like me enough or attracted enough, though they will respond one way or the other. And when I say this, like I don't think people should take those apps like to heart or seriously, because anything's possible. Some people are just busy, some have time, but if somebody likes you enough to make that effort to get to know you, it'll happen. So that's why I say like attraction and love are some of the most obvious things in the world, but us humans really make it complicated. But that's why we have other things to focus on ourselves, whether you do try growing your career, or you can do a new hobby or activity. It really does seem most of the times that it all pans out when you least expect it. You don't have to go crazy for yourself over it.
I mean, that's what they say. They say that love finds you when you least expect it.
Right.
Who knows who they is?
Yeah.
Whether it's true. But yeah.
I know we're gonna be some real catches for some bays in the future, Abby. I just know it.
I appreciate the support once again. That would be so nice. And I suppose,
Right.
I mean, I'm a Pisces, so I just like can't give up on love, unfortunately. As a teenager, I was like, love is gross because I'm an emo. And then I like became an adult and realized that I'm just like this big marshmallow inside, which is so gross. I want to find love and I don't like it.
No, of course, I'm definitely open to, and I guess I don't know. I've had I just one thing I was really late bloomer to dating and stuff. Like I'd be that teddy bear that I would hear like people would go to talk about a certain guy, whether it's, or complaining about a person, and I like one of those things that hard like do not to do. And I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect person. There's definitely been times where like I've definitely messed up in dating and learned things the hard way. Never definitely never like not putting be malicious or mean about it. Never. But like I've learned times when you need to take certain efforts to show more appreciation for who you're with at the time, to have those extra acts of kindness, and whether those things would have saved whoever I was talking to a relationship at the time. Whatever happened. But I think just being a late bloomer for me personally was great to learn those things. And I just feel when the time comes, opportunity that meet the one or they revive something, you just I just can't take it for granted. And especially what I've learned lately in the last few years is doing that. So I'm just learning every day, and figure one way or another it'll pan out. I mean, if you've seen, if I don't want to be mean and say if like I was gonna name like a not as good looking celebrity and he has a beautiful wife, but whoever, right? If love finds one person, I'm sure it can find anyone.
So true. That is so very true. I mean, especially if like you believe in like soulmates and such. I mean, like I don't believe in like you have one perfect soulmate. I believe that soulmates are like multiple. Like you could have a friend.
I think so too. Oh,
like,
I absolutely believe that too.
yeah, I'm like, I believe that I met one of my soulmates in 6th grade, and I'm still friends with her now. Because she's just somebody who, like, when I'm with her, like, I just feel like part of me, like, feels more complete. Am I romantically attracted to her? Of course not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think if you, like, want to attract love at some point, like, it will come into your life.
Absolutely. And, you know, just being yourself with that. And I think I'm someone who's very comfortable. I like to think I'm comfortable in my sin, and like I show my personality right away through our dating. As long, you know, you heard that song "Take Me or Leave Me," from the show Rent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I really think those lyrics. I can't recite the lyrics now; it's been so long. But the title was so true. "Take me or leave me for who I am," and I figured whoever wants it, they'll have a great time. And you know, we learn things other ways, even like times where relationships sadly fall out or we broke up. But I really do think I grew stronger for myself and get, you know, better prepared for, well, I don't know, prepared, but when the time comes, I have more experience in life to hopefully make me become a better partner to them. And there's still so much I have to learn. I'm still extremely young, and whenever it comes, just won't take it for granted.
Right. And I mean, you have two, like, pretty great role models for parents in terms of love. Your parents seem just as in love now as they ever were. At least, I mean, from Facebook and Instagram, since I haven't seen your parents in a while. But so, like, that's got to be helpful. Also, but maybe, like, a lot to measure up to.
You know, that's absolutely true. My parents really are role models in that sense, and it really makes me believe that you know, if you really, of course, you know, my parents, as any other couples in this world, have had their ups and downs, but they silly seem to work it, you know, and they're between so many generations. You know, I'm 8 years younger than my youngest brother, so whether that helps or not, and it's just so interesting. And I do, when I will go to my mom on girl advice if I've only done it like 2 or 3 times, but if like I really, really like someone, I don't want to mess it up, I will go to my mom because she knows what she's doing, and I appreciate and love her for that, and she'll be honest with it too.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
And it's so true with the mom thing. Like, moms knows best for relationships. Do you know, like, what was it? It was The Bachelor or Bachelorette, the last Bachelor, I think. I don't know if you
Peter.
watched. Yeah, who had
Ugh.
the where the mom said right in the finale, "This isn't gonna work." And
Oh my God. She was too much Barb. No. I would never, ever, ever, never. I don't care if this man is the love of my life. I will not marry into a family with a Barb. I won't.
just no bar. That's already the the big sign.
Ugh.
But I remember she said that, and I know some people disagreed with her, but I think they broke up. So who knows if that's a
They
good example of that.
they did, but I do feel like it was because his family actively hated her and did
Yeah.
not, like, even try to like her.
Yeah, that would be uncomfortable too. It'd be hard to sell. You have to be really in love with the person. You know, I don't know if you ever seen The
Yeah.
Graduate. Some people just run away together, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds tough. I mean, I suppose I've never been in this situation, so I don't know what I would do, but
Yeah, me neither.
ugh.
Have you been watching The Bachelorette this
I did
season?
not watch this week's season. I'm sorry, this week's episode. But I have.
There's something else, huh?
I'm, like, dabbling with, is this my internalized misogyny coming out, or is Claire actually just really annoying?
Yeah, like I've been in and out with the season 2, and I think it's so tough. I think the show seems disappointed that she seemed to pick the winner already with what's his name, Dale, not Dale,
Dale.
and like that's just not fair. Like, why am I gonna watch the show if I know I'm gonna pick her? And I mean, I know some contestants were, I know one was really mad, and I think he took the wrong approach expressing his dissatisfaction. But I mean, I know we know what's going to happen just from the news breaking it, that there's a big change coming. But um I mean, you said that. Do you feel that, are you going to be excited when it looks like Claire, I don't know, it seems like they literally run away from each other, but how you feel, how are you feeling? How you feeling about
So very annoyed.
it?
And I am somebody who, like, though I watched The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I just yell at the TV the whole time because I just think they're all so stupid.
Yeah,
um,
right.
And in some ways I can really respect Claire for knowing what she wants and not taking shit from men. Like, I think Yosef was just kept being like, I want to be a good role model for my daughter. And like, dude, so be a good role model, because right now you're being a trash person.
Yeah.
And I think that like probably did trigger a lot of her PSD and oh my god, it's PTSD in terms of like how she's been treated. But I just think that her like obsession with Dale was super weird, and how like she spent an entire group date not learning about the other men, but asking them about Dale.
That would just upset me and frustrate me. And there's some cool guys. I think there's love. That guy from West Virginia, I think he's the homie. He seems to be.
Which one's he?
I don't know his name. Like, as if in and out, but he seemed like a real humble dude, and I guess just not given the chance that we're gonna see what's her name soon, Tasha, and that's exciting. She seems to have her shit together, and I think she'll be more open and giving a chance. I mean, once you could tell in his facial expressions how annoyed Chris is at Claire, especially as the host, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I just feel like, Chris Harrison, I would add him to my list. He's number 4. I would love that dinner.
Oh, me too. Especially how he's just such a great host of a show that's lasted forever.
Right? And even when he's like, this is the most dramatic season ever. And I'm like, anyone else, I'd be like, get over it. We get it. But I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
Chris Harrison said it, so it's true. I do like Tasha. I hated Colton. I thought he was so annoying. So I was like really glad that he didn't choose her, because I think that she deserved better. And I think she deserves better than Claire's sloppy seconds. Like, she's going into a much smaller group of men. Would these have been the men that she chose had she gotten the full pick? Are they going to give her more men, or is she going to have to decide from this group of like 15? I feel bad.
I know, just another 2020 thing, huh? Why don't we just say that's just so 2020, it seems, at this season. But
yeah,
I just can't wait to see how it all comes to a head, and just see what exactly happened. I really feel that you'll just see when you have the awkward camera angles trying to chase it, just literally run away with each other. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I guess we will. Yeah, I catch up on yesterday's episode, but I thought we were done with Claire for good, but she and Dale come back to talk about their experience. So that'll be not great.
Jeez. Well, like I said, with the new sign of new things coming, this is just another one adding to it. You watching or binging anything else right now besides The Bachelorette?
Yes, for the past, I don't know, few months, I have been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel simultaneously, because once you hit season 4 of Buffy, that's when Angel started. And because, back when the CW was the WB, back when the WB used to play Buffy, and then it would play Vampire the Angel right after. And so I watched one episode of Buffy and one episode of Angel, back and forth and back and forth. And I'm finally in the final season of Buffy.
Oh, I know the first season is just can't go wrong, and I've watched, the only times I really watched Buffy was at the gym when they have it when they always have it. I go in the early morning, and that's when they have it on. So I don't know. I just read the subtitles sometimes if I'm not watching a show or a YouTube video. But fair. I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar, I think she's great. So.
Oh yeah. Which because I don't know if other people do this, or if this is just like a weird idiosyncrasy of mine, but when I watch TV shows, I often will go on these mental tangents that I then have to look things up, and then I end up reading interviews about the people in the shows and what else they do with their lives. And I read that none of them invited one another to their weddings, even though they were close coworkers. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, she literally wanted to leave Buffy after season 3, so she had a lot of resentment for the show. And I'm like, oh my god.
You just said what I do. I go on mental tangents all the time. Usually after I watch a movie or show, I hit the Wikipedia page right after, or go into video essays on YouTube. you speak my language. I'm surprised I've learned a lot of other people do that. So look at us.
I know. I just can't help it. Like, especially if I can like recognize somebody, but I can't put my finger on who it is. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
will not be able to focus. I have to pause what I'm watching. Like that for me, if I like can't focus, I can't even continue watching and multitask. Like, I just need to know the answers.
Do you watch do you have Amazon Prime?
I do.
So you use the X-ray when you I love the X-ray when you press the little corner and they say everyone in the scene. Did you know that
Oh,
you could do that?
I didn't know that's what
So
that was called.
yeah, they need to have those for the other services, right?
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be great.
Like
Because I like it because it shows by like scene.
Yep, exactly. And they get your fun
Yep.
facts in there too. And so over the years, took a lot of like toxic stuff off my Instagram and then put just movie stuff in. Like
Okay.
that's just for me. So I just have great movie facts and like movies suggest to watch and stuff like that. Real cinephile club, and that's what's cool. Almost a X-ray kind of does with that. So just more ways for technology to grow. What I've been binging lately, I don't know if you've seen. It's on Hulu. It's called Rami. It's about
Haven't.
it's about a Muslim, just a Muslim millennial living in a Jersey City, and it's just so real. I mean, I'm not Muslim, but I can see where he's coming from. You really learn about that culture. It's really cool how they're portraying that. But also just get what it's like being a millennial at home, like someone's been living at home millennial and all that, and highly recommend. 2 seasons in, and it's simple. I don't know
This
if you
makes me think. I've got an important question for you.
what's going on.
You're 95, right?
90, the very last day in 94. So pretty much.
Oh, yes, right.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So then maybe the answer to this question is more obvious. I was going to say, do you identify as a young millennial or an elder Gen Z?
I've been contemplating this for the last few years. I ask myself this like once every 3 months. Would it be rude for me to say I'm a the youngest millennium, because I remember times without a phone. I didn't have a phone until middle school. I loved my VHSs, knocking on people's doors to hang out. In those sense of the words, I feel that way. But also very heavy with social media and content creation. I can see where I could be identify as the oldest Gen Z. It's real complicated. I think Brendan and definitely Tommy, but I think Brendan identifies more as a Gen Zer.
What year is
Tommy
he?
definitely. He's 98, and
98. I mean, yeah, by definition, he is absolutely not a millennial.
yeah. So it's really weird. So in those senses, I feel like that, but I know I had the tail end of it. But one thing that when it comes to dating that we really didn't experience was actually calling people, like calling potential dates and seeing like, oh, will they answer, and that dynamic. So I really wondered how I would have measured in that world. But yeah,
Right.
that's my answer for that. How do you feel? I mean, you feel more the oldest Gen Z?
I mean, well, for me, like definitions vary. So I'm
Yeah.
96, and some include 96 at the very end of millennial. Some include 95 at the very end, and
Mm-hmm.
some don't even include 96 or 95. And similar to you, like I grew up with a lot of older cousins who were millennials, and therefore like I feel like I developed a lot of their interests and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
so in a lot of regards, like I identify with millennial culture. Um, and sometimes feel like far too old for Gen Z culture, but part of that's I think because I'm a little bit of an old soul.
Right.
Uh,
Oh,
but then
I'm definitely in that boat for sure.
yeah. Then there are other times where I'm like, oh yeah, like TikTok, beautiful, wonderful. I always said I wouldn't, but it is a golden app.
I hella respect to TikTok. I really I have a TikTok account. I don't really make TikToks, but I do watch the content because I just love. It's just hilarious the things come up with. But that's the one Gen Z thing that I'm somewhat, very am familiar. I'm a familiar, especially for work, like who's who in the TikTok world. But
Right.
I just don't use it. I don't use it for content creation. I just use it to watch. But
That
I want.
actually surprises me. I feel like you would love creating things for TikTok.
Oh, absolutely. I like that short form. And when Vine was big, I love creating those. I just maybe it's just because I've been focused on the podcast a lot lately and more writing. But I do like TikTok. But you are an incredible TikToker yourself. Like your Beetlejuice was incredible. If you want to plug your TikTok right now, feel free to get some
Yeah,
follow.
totally. I have all of like 100 followers, so it's really not that big. And I've gotten all of 150 likes on something. Ooh. Ah. My name is just at Abby Pieger, super original. I post a lot of new girl content because I am strange, and I discovered today that my students sometimes see me pop up on their For You page. Which is great. So they were like, "Yeah, Abby really likes new girl." I said, "How do you all know that?" And they said, "Well, you pop up on my For You page on TikTok." So yes, I do outfit changes for all of the characters. It's pretty cool.
Random Zoe Deschanel thing. Have you seen? You've seen 500 Days of Summer?
Of course.
What do you think of that movie? I'm just curious. I love that movie.
I do love it too. I think it's like sometimes it's that slap in the face with reality that I need, that like happy endings are not always realistic.
Expectations for reality. It really is one of the best movie scenes, most realistic movie scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We've all had that moment.
It's so good. And then it like has like, and obviously of what love should look like. And that's why he so instantly was like, and then Tom met Summer.
Oh man, that was and then when he meets Autumn at the end.
Oh, Autumn. Yeah, that's what I meant. But it also was like a cute little thing of like, you know, as cliche as it is, like one door will close and it doesn't mean that another won't open.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe that movie is it's a movie about love, not a love story. You know what I mean by that? So I just find that accurate. I think she's awesome in it. And Zoe's awesome in Almost Famous, if you ever seen it.
Oh my god, she is an Almost Famous. I've only ever seen that once.
It's an awesome rewatch. You know, it's fun. She really doesn't age. I mean, that movie came out in 2000, so.
Yeah, she really doesn't. I mean, she was an elf too.
Yep.
She's an elf.
You know, I saw Elf for the first time last Christmas season.
What?
I just get
like a movie buff.
You know, we have things to make up for. You're gonna get mad when I say this. I saw Mean Girls this October 3rd for the first time.
First time?
Yeah.
I don't know who your podcast population is. I am not a Mean Girls stan. I like Mean Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I respect Mean Girls. I love Mean Girls memes, but I'm not like, I celebrate October 3rd and wear pink every Wednesday. Like,
this is the standard you have to live by with Mean Girls.
I'm not judging you. I am confused, but I'm not judging you.
Here's a no. I just saw Ghostbusters for the first time this spooky season.
Really? Like a OG Ghostbusters?
OG Ghostbusters, 84, that one.
Really?
I know. Like, I've seen so many movies and I haven't seen so many movies. It's weird.
Wow.
But
I think like there are just some movies that you just assume that people who are super into film just like no. And well, obviously you know those movies, but like that they've seen and probably love.
You know, really 2020 I made up for it in that time. As I mentioned, all these culturally significant movies really caught up this year, and I still have a big list to still accomplish, but yeah, I just love it all. And then I mean, I'll watch anything from black and white to foreign language, from hardcore action flicks to beautiful romance comedies about life, or nice drama about the human spirit, or a kung fu movie. I'll watch it all, especially with TV shows. Like we said, I'll go crazy on reality TV with The Bachelor, Bachelorette to know it's good and see that human behavior. And then I just love my sports and go geek out with that. So I just love soaking it all in, and I think I'm fortunate with that.
And when you like all of it, I imagine it's probably harder to be able to really have already seen all of these like cultural staples.
You know, there's always something new you can get out of, you know, like they really say like if you go like through film school, you really analyze everything for the rest of your life. I can analyze Blue's Clues. This is just a great TV show about putting clues together. Like not Courtney. This is a great show about figuring stuff out yourself. Mail
Right.
time.
Oh,
But then and then I just really like watching dumb stuff lately too. Like I don't know, you ever see Eric Andre's show?
no.
Yeah, I won't lie. It's pretty grotesque, but it's really he just pranks people. He just goes out of his way. I don't know if you heard about it or seen it, but it's great
Yeah.
because I could turn my brain off and just see this guy act a fool. But then I could say this is really about a commentary on how society really is and how gross America is. Like that's just how my brain is, and I have fun with it. But I don't let it overtake me either, because then I'd be a sad film critic and don't like it anything pretentious film critic, and that's not me.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably best to stay away from that.
Oh yeah, I've met plenty of those people, and they think there's God's gift, but hey, I guess it's their world, and we're just living in
Some might say.
it. Right.
So I've got a question for you.
I got an answer.
What is either the best experience you've had because of this podcast, or the best thing you are learning about yourself or the world because of this podcast?
That's a really great question. Thank you for asking me that. I think the best experience so far is getting the chance. I think is getting the chance to really talk with people in depth. Can we have the most honest conversation in the world? I say this technically no, because of the microphones and stuff, but we can really get something out of it. And I think it's been a great opportunity with especially my guests coming from all over the place. I've been fortunate to stay in touch enough that I can ask, hey, do you want to do this? So I think the best experience is how willing people are to come on and do this. And like, not to be corny, it's really a chance to be the voice to the voiceless. I would love to interview celebrities and high profile people one day, but I have a very, very, very long time until I have that credibility. So why not just make celebrities out of who I have? And I mean, we've learned about a lot of your interests. You've given a lot of insight on things, some awesome advice, and I'm really enjoying this so far. And then there's people I've had conversations with people I disagree with. Like I had a Trump supporter on, and I won't lie, there was some stuff that I didn't agree with at all, but he was a very calm demeanor, and he really had that look. Oh, he wouldn't mind me saying this, handlebar mustache, camo, and all that. But when I spoke with him, very intelligent, very very, very level-headed. He understands this was my chance to, I really just wanted to know, like, what is it like every day to, believe in something, and you're in a specific area where people don't believe the same way as you. And then he told me in a fair, great manner, and he wasn't like these, like, he wasn't a proud boy or anything like that. He was just an awesome person to talk to. And even though we disagree politically on things, I think we grew. We had a nice moment together, and it grew. So it's been cool with that, showing off how cool people are. Like I had 2 drag queens on, and it was so cool. They really just felt so open, and one of them was the first time being on camera for it, and having them tell their story, and what it does for them in a non-judgmental way. And I think they're just as cool as talking with. I've had podcasts where I just talk sports with people. And so I think the best part of this podcast is showing that everyone has something cool about them, even if they think they're an introvert or what. I'd like to think that I can just prove how dope a person is, and I think that's been the best experience so far.
That's awesome. That's so good. And I think that's what you started the podcast for, right?
That very reason, the reason, the 2 main reasons why I started the podcast was, one, I was tired of my dad saying, why aren't you doing anything, looking for jobs every day. I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to do this. I learned, I was a intern at SiriusXM Radio. That's how I learned how to do all this. I'm going to learn the stuff I learned from Sirius. I'm going to buy the software. Money I do have saved, I'm going to buy the equipment for it. And it's been a great investment so far. So I have to say that. And also, like, applying to job after I lost my job and applying to jobs that I clearly qualify for, and they say, "Oh, we're going with there's one job I just hate getting the automated rejection email where it says we pick people who are more aligned with our requirements." When I literally hit the exact requirements. So you know what I said after that? I was like, fuck this. I'm going to make this podcast, make my own content. I will prove it once and for all when I can start really interviewing again, have a nice portfolio of content. And this is just the softwares I've been using to do this. I'm not rusty with it. I did take a solid 9 months off until I took this, and this was just my way to put something back on my resume, because it's just, even though we're clearly in a pandemic and they will see, he was a casualty of the pandemic, I still think people will still, if I don't have a direct reference to the hiring manager, they'll think I just have a big gap. So this is really just to add that gap again, and it's just something I love doing, and I really am gaining a lot both personally and professionally from it.
That's awesome. That's really important.
And this is a great way for us to catch up and learn even more about each other. So I'm really, that's this great thing I have, and I think I will do it, honestly, even when I start working again. And I could I think I'll be doing this for forever, really. I just so it's cheap to do, and it's affordable to do, I should say, and
there you go.
and I just love doing it, and I think a lot of people can get out of it. I don't know if I had this guy Bladar on. He was a refugee from war-torn Albania, went to Albania, to Greece, to the United States, and we talked for almost 2 hours, and he gave me his great deep story on what that was like. I really don't want to. I'm trying my best to not have first world problems after hearing what he legitimately dealt with. I know it's hard, but I got so much out of that conversation. Like, not to be corny, really impacted me on my life. So I just want more opportunities like that, and show off how cool Bladar is, and the importance of also the main thing of his story. He needed a lot of people to help him and his family to get out of this country. Like, he stayed with somebody who lived off the grid for 6 months until the border was cleared to go, and he didn't have to do that, and he did. So it just teaches me, hopefully, I know not everybody would be appreciative of something like that, but I hope to find the good in people from it. So I know quite a quite an answer, but like I said, it's done a lot for me for the better, and just want to show off how cool other people are. When might as well gain some things from my resume while I'm at it.
That's awesome. That's so good. It's important for you to be doing things that you like.
Absolutely. Now let me ask with you, Abby. So you're in the world of education. Can you tell us exactly what you've been up to with that right now?
Yeah. So I work at a small university, and I work in a programming role, in the sense of like events, not computer programming, which is a common misconception when people see my job title.
Can you tell me about the coding?
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't do that. Yeah, so I am very fortunate that I still do have a job. Was definitely something that over the summer I was like, I don't know, am I going to be laid off? Am I going to completely lose my job? Am I going to have to move home with my mother? Because that was not an ideal situation, because I have not lived at home in a while. But obviously, like, life happens, so if that's where I was, then that would have been where I was. But yeah, so I'm pretty lucky to still be here in year 2 of my job after grad school, and I work with students to just like put on exciting programs, which has been really challenging because of COVID, because like nobody wants to tune into Zoom for 18 hours a day when you think about all of their interactions and their classes. So it's definitely been a challenge, but I'm really lucky to be working with students who help so that it's not just me being like, what do I do and how do I connect with students? Because even though I'm still so young, like, I started college 7 years ago. So like me connecting with, an 18-year-old, like it's just different because their experience is so different than mine was in 2013.
Yeah, isn't it? Don't want to make you feel old, but are kids now, college kids born in the 2000s, are they starting to that?
Yeah, we've surpassed the 2000s, I think 2 years ago.
Oh man.
Maybe
I
one
mean,
year ago.
again, Tommy's a senior at Norwalk High this year. A senior. He's just as tall as me.
I'm like, isn't he taller?
Just about, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I think so. I think he's. I hope he's taller than me. Honestly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Has he committed to a college yet?
Not yet. He's starting his recruitment process. He wants to play football.
Okay.
And he might even do a post grad year at a school. It depends where he wants. He's been in the talks with that, and like I said, Tommy's about 6'1", and the doctor thinks he's still growing. So,
Oh my god.
I mean, his hands are twice the size of mine. He's really turned into some young man that I'm so proud of, and yeah, it's just right now. That's it. The thing is, pretty much, probably around this, in the non-COVID world, he would have a better idea at this time, but
Right.
now everything's pushed back. So this is going to be an interesting winter to see what he's doing, and he's continuing to train. But yes, he's just starting the recruitment process. He, whether he goes to another post-grad year to see if he could get some more college offers, or he'll just go straight to be a redshirt freshman. But
Right.
either way, I know he'll do the right decision. My parents are right there with him, and that's really what he's doing. Is just seeing his best options at the moment. All he just wants to do is keep playing football. And what's great about Tommy is that he played his abbreviated season because of COVID, but I just saw him. He's still throwing on his net right now. He just loves the game that much, and I just can't wait to see where it goes from here for him.
And he's like a pretty big deal, like at least in terms of Norwalk. I guess I don't really know Southern Connecticut high school sports, but he's kind of a big deal, right?
Oh yeah, he's been on a few podcasts, a lot of articles written about him. He was not to his own horn, but he was part of the quarterbacks to watch in the state of New England. So, and that's why I say I want him to get taller to be that size, because you never know. So I'm exactly 6 feet, and let's say he's 6'1". So
okay,
that's a great, and that's a, he probably wants a few more inches to be even better, but he's still a great size as a quarterback. Just won't complain to get an extra growth spurt, and the doctor thinks that it's possible. So, my dad's size has always been tall, so we've been fortunate with those genes.
Oh, I remember the days of being equal size to all of you. Now you all are almost a full foot taller than me.
Well, yeah, look, you're still great at other things with your height, so
Sure. I am small enough to fit in small spaces, but I don't like to do that.
I won't lie. I appreciate the height, and and I just want Tommy to have the tallest one so he can continue to play. And I think he's going to be playing somewhere soon. So it's cool to see what he's doing. Does your school have a football program?
We do, but we don't have a football season right now. The NCAA what's the New England one? The NE10?
The
I'm clearly a sports person.
I think the conference is the NEASC. That's ones like Bowdoin, Bates, schools like that.
Sure. Yeah, so there was no football season.
Yeah.
For Bentley this year.
That's what's been tough too, like just figuring out who has a season or not. So quite the world we're living in, but they did announce we might be having a vaccine from Pfizer. I know everyone has their views on big pharma, but that would be great for a lot of things if this is legit. But I know the complicated things that comes with that. But regardless, we just want the pandemic to end in the safest way possible, and hopefully it helps with his sake too.
Yeah, I mean it's just so hard because like we, particularly in American culture, just like want everything right now.
Yep.
And our lack of
instant gratification. Yep.
Yeah, our absolute lack of patience has like just prolonged the like just absolute horrible experience. I would not say it's an absolutely horrible experience, because there probably have been some positive things to come out of needing to take a step back.
Yep.
But, other countries did not experience a like full shutdown for the length of time that we have experienced it. And it's because even though we are fully shut down, people aren't paying attention to that. Whereas in other countries, they're like, oh, it's a lockdown, I will be locked down. So
you would think, like, I don't know, when this first happened, I always thought in a perfect world we would have been, this is trying to be as rational as I can in March. I was hoping like maybe Christmas time that we can see a big change, and it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. And we could go all day on the reasons why for that, but I just hope that maybe easier it will force people to stay inside with the winter coming now. And I figured to me, like, if we could just get through the winter, and even if just this Mother Nature just forces, okay, you won't stay inside, I will make it stay inside. I mean, again, this is just for the cold states like us up here in New England, but
right.
But I hope in a perfect way we could just get through the winter, and hopefully we see a better summer. I'm hoping. But so I know there's a lot of things that contribute, and I'm prepared either way.
Right.
So I just hope good things are coming. That's all I can do.
We got to hope that with winter coming, and with Dr. Jill Biden and President-elect Joe Biden, with them coming in with a plan.
Yes.
That hopefully things will turn around.
And just better attitudes. That's just what I'm so excited for as well. I mean, I don't want to wish the time away, but January 20th couldn't come soon enough.
I'm fine to wish the time away. This whole year has just gone by in a weird vortex.
Yep. No, I hear that.
So, like, take the next 2 months, bring me to January 20th. I'm okay with that. And I'm aware that, like, there's so much more work that needs to be done. It's not like January 20th is going to come and all of a sudden everything's going to be perfectly, magically, sparkly, That's just not the reality. Our country's really, really broken right now.
Yeah.
But I have to have a little bit of hope that we will be put in a position where we can start to make progress and move beyond being so broken.
Yeah, that's my big takeaway from the news of Biden and Harris winning, is it's starting some kind of road to recovery. Now, it might take many years until then. We are still very divided. 70 million people voted for Trump, and well, it's hopefully with this new, it's that type of start for that. And that's what what I believe will come out of this, especially, get through the winter. And I'm just going to be on the bright side, glasses half full in this.
That's how we got to, it's been a dark 4 years.
Yeah.
I think, like, we have to look towards the light, because
we could only go up from here, right?
I do sort of feel as though we are, like, close to rock bottom. I don't know if we're, like, quite there yet, but I think we're, like, skimming the rocks. So yeah, in my head, like, there is so much progress to be made, but I think that, like, this electing Biden and electing Harris, like, that right there is a step.
Absolutely. Very much so. Like, that was also, like, just, you're right. We have a lot of ways to go to improve this country, but this election really did prove, when our backs against the wall, that we really can make a change if we want. And we're very fortunate that the numbers went in that direction for it. So
true.
Again,
and I'm not somebody who's like, we can all live in peace. If you voted for Trump, then we can still be friends, because I do firmly believe at this point in time, like, if you voted for Trump, you are a white supremacist.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it is. And you might not want to accept that yet. And that's okay. I'm here to talk you through why you're a white supremacist. But, like, this isn't 2016 where you're like, he's going to do great things for the already decent economy. Like, that's,
nope.
just not where we are. And I honestly, I just got so heated in that moment that I forgot where I was going with this. Where were we going with this?
Well, we don't like people who support white supremacists or people who don't
Right.
who don't like Trump didn't hold them accountable, which, fuck him for that. And then
Right.
with all the other, minority groups have been negatively affected by him from his words and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But we're hopefully now with the new Biden and Harris administration, and we see where Georgia lies to see if they can even take the Senate, that hopefully this starts, even if it's a slow road, some road to recovery, and hopefully start to breaking the divide.
Beautifully put. I don't know where I was going with my statement, but I think that is true. And I have to have hope that like there is room for growth for those people who right now are just like so concerned with their own lives and agendas
Yep.
than
Especially with that,
others.
with how Trump, who we put in the Supreme Court, and people really considering, we don't want to see Roe v. Wade reversed. We don't want to see Obergefell versus I can't think. We don't want same-sex marriage to be reversed, and we don't want to see the right to an abortion taken away. And it's just like, I just don't get personally why that progress why would somebody want to go back to that was 73 was when Roe v. Wade was passed. So why would you want to take 50 years backwards for that? For especially with the LGBTQI plus community, these are just people. Take the benefits and politics out. This is an opportunity for two people who love each other and want to make it official. So why does the government have to dictate why they can say that or not? So, just those little things that pray to God that doesn't take away. And that's just hopefully a horrible mark that Agent Orange doesn't give us.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if this was something that you realized that you had just said, but the concern and the real big problem that we've been having, and granted, Trump is not like a Christian or Catholic man. He is somebody who plays to really conservative Catholics and Christians.
Yep.
But we have not been living by the separation of church and state. Like current conservative politicians, and the reason why I said, I don't know if you noticed when you said, I pray to God.
Oh yeah, there's major irony.
You were like, how did I do that? But I mean, right now, like, when we think about Amy Coney Barrett, like, she is not somebody who is able to separate her religious beliefs from the way that she's going to perform law. And she's only been, a lawyer for 3 years, so like underqualified. Right? But like that has been the major concern of why people are so interested in Trump, is because he's playing towards their religious beliefs when our government is not supposed to be doing that. We have folks from all different types of religions, and why are we just assuming that like just because you believe in
one specific one
form of the Bible, like that you're superior?
Exactly. Like, like I identify myself as a more spiritual person, and I understand not everybody does.
Yeah.
Me personally, I say pray to God, but I believe somebody, Allah is a God to someone else, and stuff like that. I support that, and I understand that. I believe that a God, whether, depending on how you define or identify with your God, just either way, I respect it. If some people want to follow a certain religion, that's my way. I just know that that's not everybody, and I respect that. And I think when you do a law for the greater good and the greater body of people, we have to respect those beliefs. And that's why we do have to have that separate church and state, because it's not everybody believes it. It's not everybody's just aware. So I'm able to separate that. I don't understand why other people can't. And, I understand people who believe in the Bible. I know the Bible has done things for a lot of people and it turns a lot of people's lives around, but it hasn't for everybody. And we have to understand and respect that. And we can't force that in the law. So I keep my spirituality to myself and do that. I'm not someone who throws it down your throat. If you believe in Buddha, if you believe in Allah, I'll support you. I'll even, if you want me to join your services, I'll do it with my best effort and smile on my face. If you want to do the Bachelorette religion, if you're so into that, okay, weird flex, but okay. But
Right.
basically what I'm saying is everybody's different and everyone is cool in their own way for it. And we shouldn't let religion specifically dictate that, because simply it doesn't apply to everyone.
Right. And kind of what you're alluding to, like, it should be celebrated. People should feel like they're able to talk about what their religion means to them.
Yeah.
However, they shouldn't be using their religion as a way to control other people.
No.
Like, that is the difference. Like, it is wonderful. Like other like parts of different identities, all of those things should be celebrated. But
hell yeah, we all could be cool.
Like, this part of my identity is way better than yours, and so you have to follow this way. Like,
just get a life at that point. That's all I have to say to those people.
Yeah, like at that point, okay, go live among like-minded people. If you want everybody to think the way that you think, then don't be around people who think differently. Like, if that's gonna be it, if you're like so close-minded to the way that other people think, then don't bother coming around us.
No, go on your chat rooms instead, or yeah. Don't get these people, Abby. Just don't. But
yeah.
Right. I just hope that with that saying all that we do start that road recovery. We just especially don't want Amy Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh, Trump's picks, to help lead a change to go backwards, and that would just be just gross. And I just praying and hoping for the best, and hopefully they have other cases to worry about instead. Like, how about obviously COVID and the hunger issue, environmental especially. Focus on those issues instead of dictating whether a woman has the right to choose an abortion or not, or choosing the right to have somebody find their soulmate no matter their orientation. You decide just because a religion says it's not okay. That's not true.
Like,
it's okay.
Religion doesn't say that it's not okay. That is a loose interpretation.
Exactly. So I mean, if we went by the Bible, you can't eat lobster, and there's
right. You can't cut your hair. You can't get a tattoo. Like,
exactly. So we can't have the double standard there. So,
oh, yeah.
Man, on some lighter things. Just curious. Were you happy to drink it? A beer? It looks really good.
I'm drinking a Down East cider.
Downy cider. Obviously, you have to have it in the season. Have you been getting some nice fall? Fall is sadly coming to an end. Have you been getting some nice fall drinks this year? Whether you're alcohol and non-alcoholic, from your pumpkin spice latte to your Seagrams, or your dirty. Oh, not dirty. Is that the right word? Or a spiked pumpkin spice latte or pumpkin beer. You've been getting into any of those fall drinks? Did you have a season of that?
Some. I'm a cider drinker year round. I so I don't drink beer.
Yep.
So cider is especially down east, so good.
Hey.
So this is their special limited edition cider donut that I picked up on the day that Joe Biden was projected as our president. I picked up 2 64-ounce growlers, and I said, I deserve this. Because I voted, and I did my...
Right. Another thing you got my support on. Wow, that's 64 ounces, man.
oh, yeah. And I just finished one today. That makes it sound aggressive, like I drank all 64 ounces. No. I got it on Saturday. Today is Wednesday.
Judgment-free zone if you did. So, as long as you're safe, of course.
It is a work night. So I've been doing that. Big pumpkin spice latte girl. Starbucks, not Dunkin'. It's just superior. Dunkin' lattes taste like trash.
Really? Even in the state of Mass where Dunkin' seems to be king?
Yes. I like a good Dunkin' iced coffee. I prefer Starbucks, but I'm poor. And there is a Dunkin' in my work, and so I will get a Dunkin' iced coffee, but I think the lattes at Starbucks are way better. That sounded so pretentious, but it is not incorrect. So big pumpkin spice latte girl. Do you like spiked ciders?
I do enjoy a good spiked cider every once in a while.
I mean, seltzer, not cider. Ay.
Seltzer, I do like, whether you're the Trulies and your
White
White
Claws.
Claws, Corona Spike Seltzers, Bud Lights. I will enjoy them. My wild berries
I haven't had
specifically.
the Corona or the Bud Light.
Really good.
Do they
Really,
taste
really
like beer
good.
or do they taste like seltzer?
They do sound like a solid seltzer. If you well, we can't really, I don't know if this is appropriate in a COVID world, but if someone poured it in a solo cup and handed it to you, you wouldn't know. But I guess that's not politically correct right now because of the world we're in.
Sentiment.
But yes, I do like spiked seltzers.
Okay. So I don't know if you've ever had Willy's Super Brew.
I'm afraid not. Can you tell me about it?
So I believe it's like their whole shtick is that it's like made with real fruit. And they have a fall flavor, which is pear and cinnamon.
Pear and cinnamon. That's an interesting
I
combo.
believe. And it has the taste of a cider, but the lightness of a seltzer.
Oh, I hope it's still in season. Do you have Total Wine? You know Total Wine, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you have them around you?
There's one sort of near me, but not close enough that I go to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I usually, that best liquor store in the world.
I mean, it's humongous. It has everything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check this weekend and see if I can, if I have it, and I'll snap you if I can do it, because that does sound interesting. Pear and cinnamon.
So good, really. Oh, tastes like fall.
I've been, one thing I didn't like with fall, I didn't like pumpkin beer. I tried pumpkin beer this year. I was not a fan.
Really?
Nah.
Shipyard? Did you try Shipyard?
Shipyard, maybe. I've never done in here, but
as a non-beer drinker, that is the only pumpkin beer that I know.
Yeah, I've been just more of those Sam Adams, like I like those Sam Adams Oktoberfest, drinking a lot. I like whiskey all year around. I will drink whiskey in the summer. I don't care. But that's my go-to drink. I'll just like Jack Daniels and go crazy with that. Even like a Honey Jack. Oh man, that's a nice fall drink. Goes there. What about you? What's your go-to alcohol besides that?
Oof. That's tricky. I like a Cosmo when I make it. I've never actually had a Cosmo out, but over the summer I was like, I want to learn how to make a Cosmopolitan. And would I say that it was like the best thing in the universe? No. Was it a way for me to continue drinking alcohol?
Easily.
Yes.
Okay.
Would I order one out? Probably. But otherwise, I'd say this is like so basic, and I actually haven't had this probably since college.
Fuck it.
But like a good Malibu and Coke. I'm outing myself as like
Malibu's great.
Yeah.
Malibu, you gotta be careful because it tastes like regular juice and boing.
It just tastes so good.
Actually, to be honest, I didn't know
like
you could
regret, but it tastes good.
Tastes like regret. That's like a Natty Light Keystone with me. I did a podcast yesterday with my buddy Joe, and he's drinking Natty Lights. I'm like, dude, you're 24. Why are you drinking?
It's better than a PBR. Again, not a beer drinker. I know that like that is bottom of the barrel. You're acting like you're 17.
Hey, right. Again, his world and we're living in it. I like I love Yingling's beers, goods. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I love my bourbon, like Johnny Water scotches. And one thing, like, because I'm so manly, but really I just don't like the extra sugar. I will drink these straight most of the time. And
really, I just don't want the extra sugar. I appreciate the honesty.
Really, I hate hangovers like a lot. Like I'm ashamed of myself when I get one. I won't lie. I had my first hangover, my only hangover of 2020 so far. Went for Halloween safely and with some friends, and I just drank too much. There was that sugar with the shakers.
Your first hangover of 2020 was like 2 weeks ago?
I can honestly say that, yeah. Like, I mean, I've dabbled and drank there. It's because I don't really do chasers or anything, but I don't know. I guess I was James Bond for Halloween. I just shaved. I was just feeling myself, to be honest. So
that's fine. That's okay.
Lesson learned, and I had my I got my shirt. I had a Jello shot right on a nice dress shirt, which is
Oh.
100% my fault. And I went to the dry cleaners for the first time all year. Felt good. Overpriced, but felt good.
Oh, good.
Wasn't worth it, but that
No,
thing.
probably not.
What's an alcohol that is off limits? Never. I am not touching it. Like me is vodka. Really, if I don't have to, I won't drink vodka. That's a taste of regret right there.
That's fair. I would not drink vodka straight. I don't think I could do like a vodka martini. That to me just like you're drinking rubbing alcohol at that point. Rubbing alcohol
Added
with what's in it.
and vodka sodas too. And like, I went on this date with a girl I was trying to seem cool and impress, but we didn't make it. She was nice, but she was from Russia, like St.
Okay.
Petersburg, Russia, in the city, and she was drinking vodka soda. I was like, I'll drink those with you, and I remember just being so cringy.
Oof.
I had to turn around. I was like, I hate this. Literally tastes awful. And it's New York City price, so it's like $14 for a thing like this big.
Oh,
And
that is like the one good thing about COVID. And I miss bars. Don't get me wrong, but like I get drunk for far cheaper now because I'm at home.
right, yeah, and it stays with you. Like I could get a bottle of Jack, and that'll last a few weeks. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For me though, and I would agree. Like I'm not gonna drink vodka straight, but like I would drink it in like a vodka cran or vodka lemonade.
Yeah.
For me, it is
Vodka cranberry.
Moscato.
Moscato. Ooh.
Oh, I very much like because I was like, I like Sex and the City, one of my like favorite shows. I'm like, I understand now in 2020, like a lot of it is problematic, but like it was progressive for the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah, all women cast showing all women show writer, mostly women writing staff, and just showing that perspective.
Yeah, women embracing their sexuality, and granted, all white women, but
Entourage tried to do that with dudes, but it sucked. I mean, I like Entourage. Don't get me wrong, but I just think I like the show, but it's such a stupid show.
Fair. I've never seen it, but I would probably rank Sex and the City higher.
Not very much so, and the definitely better movie out of it too.
True. So yeah, so in college, I very much was like, I'm a wine drinker, even though I like had not developed a palate for like whites or reds, and so I just drank sweet wine all through like most of college, which was not great. My very, very first hangover, I remember it like it was yesterday. I had like a few months prior broken up with my long-term boyfriend, and one of my friends was like, my boyfriend and I got you like a 2-liter bottle of pink Moscato because like we didn't want you to feel sad. And I was like, I don't really feel sad, like, but I would have been celebrating a we. So tonight I'm going to celebrate a me.
Yeah.
So I had 2 friends over who were not drinkers, and I was like just have some wine. It's okay. Like you can have a little bit, and I'll drink the rest. It's fine. So one of them had one singular glass, and then I drank the rest of it, except like there was like maybe like an inch left at the bottom. And I'm like, of course, I'm hammered at this point because I have so much wine in me, and I was like a teeny 120-pound, 5'2", 19-year-old, and I'm like, I want to go see my friends. So I chugged the last bit, and that was the mistake.
Oh, that's how you know that last little bit. I have a story to share right after this. Wake that.
Yeah, now I know that was bad. But at the time I was like, that's fine. I don't want to waste it. And then I walked right into the building and then said, I have to go, and immediately threw up and then was like, I can't go anywhere. Ooh. And I remember being so hungover the next day that one of my friends came by and literally starts vacuuming in my room, opens my windows. Now, mind you, I was an RA for all of college, and the residents are like, what is Kevin doing? And I'm like, don't talk to me. I don't know what's happening. I just want to lay down. And he's like, literally, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, you just need some fresh air. Like, you need to walk it off. And I'm like,
at 8 in the morning too.
Die. Like, I want to die. Why are you vacuuming? Yeah.
I had, you mentioned vodka cranberries. This is the last time I've had one since. Okay. And I said this was a different time. So this is right after college. I was visiting my friend, and his brother went to Rutgers, right? So we hang out at Rutgers. Good time, right? go to the bar, hang out, pumped up. Yeah, we're going to the bar. We're gonna be so cool. Gonna be the life of the party and stuff. So we go. We're having fun. So then my friend needs to go to the bathroom, but he wants to go to the bathroom in his apartment. So we leave the bar, pretty popping. And this was like right at finals week. And I'm so surprised. This is finals week. And it was just like, it looked like the homecoming weekend. I don't know if that's how Rutgers gets down or what, but It was intense, right? So we go and so he does his thing in the bathroom. Then we go, yeah, let's pregame some more. And I just hate that. Just one drink too many.
Yeah.
One drink. So we go.
No, could have stopped, but you said why not?
You're right. So lesson learned here. You're gonna laugh at this, right? So we go. I say, yo, Matt, it's your turn to get the drinks. I'm like, okay. 3 vodka cranberries. And I remember distinct this POV image, me holding the vodka cranberries, handing them off. I sipped them, and this is like blink. I'm in my friend's room in his bed. And I can honestly say I don't really black out that much. I can count that, but that was one. And you know what the funny thing is? I guess like I don't want to seem like it's a type of way in this, but I got a girl's number. And you know what the text convo was? I was like, what? Thank God I texted like this and not nothing stupid. She says, hey, do you want to hang out with me and my friends? This is like 1 a.m. So, who knows what that means at the time. The first text like, hey, it's Matt. And she was like, hey, we'll say Stacy. And then, her text seemed like she was very excited at the time. And then I just say, after she says, hey, you want to meet us here. And then my response is, hey, it's Matt.
Oh, no.
And then I said it 2 other times. And she's like, hey, I know. So you want to come? And I say, hey, it's Matt. And then never heard from her again. I have no idea who she is. Made sure I didn't say anything dumb. Thank God. Thank God I just repeated myself and didn't say anything stupid. Right. And I just hope she's well in her world and she's thriving. But
I mean, and the sad thing is that you'll never know what you did to get her number.
You're right. I don't know.
Maybe the good thing, actually. Who knows what you did.
Exactly. I'm glad she responded positively, except I just repeated myself. But never again. Never. I mean, I think like only once I got in that type of level again on vacation, and like that really freaked me out because like I really felt like anything could have been said, right? I make sure no calls or whatever, and I really like be careful in social situations from that because
yeah.
It was what a wake up call. And that's when you said vodka cranberries, anyone who says that very POV image of me holding the 3 of them.
Oh my God.
And I end up in my friend's bed and he ends up in his own couch.
Hey, you won in that scenario.
Right? Yeah. So, that was some lesson learned. So, but it was good though. I think it's helped me definitely more aware, like going out now. So.
Hey, that's important. And I mean, I'm all for drinking, having fun, but I think it also is important to remember that, like, bad things could happen.
Oh, yeah, like, exactly.
So easily, and it's important to be responsible, even if you are being slightly irresponsible.
Definitely for that. But, yo, Abby, we've been killing it for almost 2 hours,
believe
it or not. I know I just start wrapping things up, but before we do that, I end my podcast with a special questionnaire. But before that, is there do you have questions for me or any nice positive words, since you've given us a lot of great advice in this that I appreciate?
Ooh, nice positive words.
If anything.
I mean, I think life lately for so many people just has been like so harrowing and just so tiring. And really sad in a lot of ways. And so I think it's really important for people to remember to figure out what those things are that bring them little bits of joy that they can hold on to. And so whether that's catching up with somebody that you grew up with, or, if you're somebody who like just really gets joy out of like puzzling, or watching Christmas movies in October.
I saw you watching them today. No shame in there. I'll watch Christmas movies in July. You want to know another movie I haven't seen yet? And I will watch it this Christmas season. I have a specific plan.
Okay.
Please don't get mad.
What
But
is
I
it?
have never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
It took me a long time to see that one, so no
Oh,
judgment.
see, okay, I'll feel better from there.
No judgment there. I feel like that movie is like just old enough that like unless our parents introduced it to us, we may
Yeah.
not have seen it. So yeah, so my last bits of advice to the listeners. That felt very Delilah to me.
Hey, down with that. They're much as your listeners right now as they are mine. So I'll appreciate it.
Yeah, that's my last bit of advice to the listeners is to just find joy where you can and hold on to it.
Really appreciate that, Abby. Thank you for that. So as I've been starting this new tradition, how I end every podcast, it's called the Proust Questionnaire.
Okay.
So I don't know if you heard of Inside the Actor Studio by any chance. It was an old interview show where this guy James Lipton would interview a bunch of actors, and he used this questionnaire to end every conversation. And it's from an old French show. You like French stuff by any chance? Like movies, culture?
I don't know much about French culture. I feel like I've got a very American view of like France and Paris, and I know how annoying that probably is, but I have a gluten allergy, so can't. But I do really want to eat a baguette under the Eiffel Tower.
Hey, fucking! I only asked because I know Breakfast at Tiffany's, the great
Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, of course, Audrey Hepburn, but who wrote it? Truman Capote.
Yes.
He got his he was help inspired from his trips in France. So I was just curious because I know you're such a big fan of that movie.
I am.
So anyways, so I have this. I'm going to ask you 10 questions, a little rapid fire, but not really. But they're nice and they're cool but profound. And want to end it off with these great questions.
Okay.
Okay. So my first question for you, Abby, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word. Oh, serendipity.
Oh, that's a really good one. Serendipity.
Thank you.
Okay. Your least favorite word?
Oh, do I have to say it?
I mean, if you don't have to, but I do have to ask this as the Proust questionnaire. If you want to just make up your least favorite word too, you can say you don't like the word blue or Johnny or paper.
I love the vastness of the English language. I do not like the C word. I don't like it. I just
Very good answer. Very fair. I hear you on that one. What turns you on? And by the way, I say this. I usually say this, and people think this isn't anything to do with intimacy or anything like that. Like people say, what turns me on is like a fresh garden or I like seeing people help each other. I don't mean what you know.
I know. I would say just like the ability to just like chill and enjoy like a simple moment. That sounds really odd, but I'm thinking like curling up with a book and having a really like wonderful conversation.
Especially in these times, I hear you on that. Yeah, it's funny when people think I've only done this 2 other times, and the guy starts going on like what he likes about his dating, and I was like, no, that's not what I meant. So glad you knew exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. So having said that, what turns you off?
Close-mindedness. We're gonna just stick with that. Close-mindedness.
I hear that. What sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound of my cat purring. So peaceful.
Definitely. I love that when I hear my cat purr too. What sound or noise do you hate?
Nails scratching anything.
Okay, so the next question. So what is your favorite curse word? And you could say like this word if there is any. We definitely know what your least favorite is. But
I mean, I swear a lot, which is probably not great. I don't know. Probably fuck. Sorry,
That is
Auntie Donna, if you're listening.
that is a popular answer to that. So this is a unique question. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
This will never happen, and I have no qualifications. But I would love to be an American Idol judge. I've always dreamt.
That's a good answer. I sadly couldn't tell you who the current judges are now. I know it's on ABC, but
It's
I know, is it Keith Urban?
it's Luke Bryan,
Luke Bryan.
Katy Perry,
Okay.
Lionel Richie,
Good squad right there.
Abby Pieger.
Doesn't Zoe Deschanel and Katy Perry look so much alike, or am I bugging saying that?
They do.
See?
They really do.
People don't say that very often. Oh, well.
Now that Katy Perry's like got blonde short hair,
Yeah.
I don't think it anymore, but definitely like 2010s.
Hear that? Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
I don't think I wouldn't be good with anything having to do with numbers, like accounting, finance. No, thank you.
No stockbroking out here.
No, it's just not how my brain works.
All right, Abby, my last question before we say our goodbyes. If heaven exists, what would you like God to what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Wow. I'm like, again, I would love to say something profound. Like something like so sweet, like, welcome home, you're at peace now. But I think for me, it's less about what God would say and more about like the ambiance. And I just really love for Faithfully by Journey to be playing very loudly.
Now that's a cool answer. It's like in Lord of the Rings after Frodo comes back, it's like everyone, oh, you're here and stuff. Like that was your moment while Faithful by Journey is played.
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Well, Abby, it's been nothing but a pleasure. I've had such a great time. I hope you've had a great time. I hope you would love to come back because I could talk to you all day and stuff. Please give your family my best wishes. I was definitely thinking about all of them. And yeah, Abby, you're the best as always. I'm so glad we're still friends. And I hope to see you soon. And maybe before you know, we can do this in a non-COVID world and we can catch up in person.
Sounds good. Yeah, give your family my love too. Holly is coming to say goodbye.
So long, Holly. Thank you for participating. I hope that she has had fun herself.
I think so. Yeah. And I'm about to add a professional podcast feature to my resume because this is now my third podcast. So if you invite me again, I'll be a pro.
Please, I plan on it. Yeah, feel free and spread the word. And since you're an expert, so you know what's good. But seriously, Abby, you're the best. I just had a great time as always, and I hope to talk to you very, very soon. And please be safe out there.
Same to you. Again, give everyone my love.
Definitely, as you do from me. All right, I'll see you later, Abby, and thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye, Matt.
Bye, Abby.